Hello everyone, we're back with 7th Lair. It's been like what, 4 or 5 days since I've been emotionally ruined. Now I'm back to finish this up. So yeah, we still have the short story left, and I'm just gonna give my thoughts on 7th Lair. It's this song, okay. I don't know if this is gonna be like a 5-minute thing or like a 30-minute ordeal. So we'll find out. Yeah, I won't be able to record after today for like a week. So, I need to get this done. Oh, it's played this song before in 7th Lair. I think this is from my Requiem for Innocence. No name application. My birthday's on May 5th, said Giselle with a smile, a week before the day. Or this might actually just be an original one because I've heard it on YouTube. I think it's from Fata Morgana. Is that it? I think you give me a little bit better of a reaction than that. I mean, it's just a birthday, right? Well, I know. Is this more Giselle dating content? I know that. Should have come off like they didn't care, but my heart actually started racing when she said the word birthday. Finger, which had been sliding around my smartphone screen, froze in place, but I didn't think she noticed. I was confident in my poker face. So long as I wasn't plugged into a lie detector, I was fine. Planning on having a party at home. Will you come too? Yeah, sure, I'll go. No, this is Giselle, that's Michelle. I had no reason to refuse, and if I could see her all dressed up, then I was more than happy for the chance. This is Giselle's birthday? Jumping out of my seat would have been corny, so I played it off like I could go either way. Though I knew that trying to act cool and aloof wasn't going to score me any points. Like 100 roses as a birthday present. Trying to bankrupt a poor college? What? Who is this? A broke college student? I'm joking, Giselle laughed. Is this Imeon? I could already see myself turning into the kind of guy that would actually buy 100 roses. No. I don't know. Have they said Michelle yet? This is a prank? I don't know whose birthday May 5th is. Maybe it's a surprise for next year's party. I don't really want to be that kind of guy. Anyone can buy roses as long as they have the cash. Just you coming will make me happy, but dress up for the occasion. I laughed as I cringed. Couldn't wait to see her in a dress, but thinking of me all dapper almost made me puke. I'm assuming this is Michelle. So even if I had to let her down, I was going in jeans. Sorry, but that's the kind of guy I was. Oh, I've been pranked! Hey, Imeon. I was in my 3rd year of college at the time. Giselle was approaching her 17th birthday, still in high school. We're some years apart and good friends. We'd actually met at a party at a mutual friend's house. Back then, Giselle was still in junior high, but still full of youthful naivety. I didn't think much of her at first, only that she was a cute kid, nothing more. I didn't see her as a potential partner or anything like that. She was there with her parents, no less, so maybe that made her look even more like a child. Since she was about to enter high school, her parents told me to teach her all I can since she was nervous. I could still see Giselle huddling into a ball of embarrassment next to them. I was pretty sure I knew how she felt, though. Junior high, moreover, at the end of it, starting to figure out things and have an identity, so it was embarrassing to have your parents do things on your behalf. If it was me, I wouldn't have been caught dead out with my parents like that. So from then on, she was the neighborhood girl I knew. Slowly, we shortened the distance between us, and we were close friends. The name she called me, Imeon, wasn't my real name. It's a screen name I used online, that is, a nickname, one that I wanted her to use for me when it was just the two of us. Had we originally met online, going by our screen names would have felt only natural. It wasn't the case for Giselle. Didn't sit right with her, I think. Like, why would I want her to call me such a different name from my real one? She even wanted to get an explanation. I would have told her I don't mind using my real name. Would have been a chore explaining the real reason, and I doubt she would have understood anyway. I felt more comfortable having her call me that. For her, yeah. It was like it was most likely unnatural in terms of normal human interaction. But she went along with it more easily than I anticipated. She said if it was what I wanted, she never really asked the reason. She said she would if it was what I wanted. But she even told me it was a nice name. Is Imeon her real name? Because if it's not, that is a little awkward. Well, I mean, asking anyone to call you anything that's not your name is just a little awkward, right? Especially if you say, oh, only when we're alone, call me this. In that moment, my perception of her went from cute kid to cute girl. She then entered high school, grew her hair out. Before I knew it, I was taken with the beautiful woman she was becoming. Wait, hold on. How much older is Imeon? This is an important detail that decides if this is creepy or not. But at the same time, I was worried some worm would latch onto her and found myself assailed by jealousy when I saw any boys near her. On the day of the party, I rang the doorbell. The birthday girl herself came and met me. "Hey there, what's the matter? You look terrible," she screamed the moment she saw me. "So wondering what that was all about?" She gathered as the dark bags under my eyes. Face probably looked like a zombie's. I didn't want her to worry about me, so I laughed it off with a joke. "Do you want my mind? I couldn't sleep for 3 days and 3 nights. Oh, don't you lie to me. Now you either saved your reports for the last minute or stayed up all night gaming. Sometimes I really can't tell if you're serious about school or not." So let me let you in on something. College students are creatures that spawn unfinished reports. You'll eventually become one too. I got a Discord message. Hold on. I can check it when it's not fake. Oh, wait. Okay. Giselle's eyes went wide at first. She raised an eyebrow in a suggestive smile. "May not look it, but I'm the most studious girl around. Won't turn out as Miss Know-It-All claims. Be impossible to not see you as studious. Give me a break." So all those words and shrugged jokingly at her. We both chuckled. Certainly wasn't an unpleasant moment for two good friends. She motioned me inside and led me through the living room. Oh, but first. "Alright, can I borrow your phone?" "Yeah, sure, but why? Did you forget yours?" Ellie smiled in response. She seemed tensely alert now. Given that it was only me, she handed me the phone. I go sniffing around in it too much. "I know you had a bunch of messages from boys here." "Oh, I don't, you jerk." She went red in the face and jabbed me in the shoulder. I cackled, but it was mostly out of relief. She had smiled bashfully, and there was a big picture of her new boyfriend on the home screen. I've turned around and left on the spot. What the heck am I thinking? It's inevitable that she'll get a boyfriend. As a matter of fact, her not having one soon would be more perplexing. The party is full of people I didn't know. Probably all of her classmates and such. The only ones who I recognized were her parents, who were nice, of course. Starting to feel antsy being in the circle of strangers with Giselle at the center. I wasn't the type to be controlling or jealous. I obviously wanted the girl I liked to be free and enjoy herself. These emotions still happened. Not even an all-knowing prophet could predict just what kind of emotions humans could encounter. Of course, I was hiding the fact that I was feeling this way. I too had a wide variety of acquaintances. Hence, it wasn't right for me to desire that someone else be all alone. There was nothing more than childish jealousy. Oh, was that it? Childish jealousy? The fact that I was phrasing it that way maybe meant this is more desperation than anything. My desires couldn't be heard. Could never reach her. A world where we were together wasn't possible. Couldn't even disguise these feelings as jealousy. Not good for him. Really not good. Where is this going? I hated dwelling, moping around with no end. This was her birthday party, for crying out loud. Time to celebrate. I'd even prepared something special for this. "Yeah, Giselle, happy birthday!" The one who said that wasn't me. It was a boy from her class, and he gave her a bouquet of flowers. 100 roses? A kid as young as high school giving flowers to a girl. They were chumps who thought they were hot shots at this age. No, it's not like it was 100 roses or anything. Giselle accepted them with glee. I felt like I witnessed an atrocity. "You know, Giselle, the gift I got you is unique. Only one in the world. Not some flowers you can get on any street corners." Such was the reason I hadn't slept. But I think the finished product came out good. "Oh, is this Farmy Farm?" I knew she would like it. Pulled her phone from my computer after the file transfer had finished. Started towards her. She turned around. Or turned her phone and wished her happy birthday. Okay. She installed the app. Well, you go on it. In her phone, there's now an application she had never seen. Specifically because of the sprites. Whenever I see Imeon, I just immediately think Fata Morgana Maria. So, making them... Giving them a... They're either the only character that has a very distinct, different personality from their Fata Morgana counterpart, right? Just kind of weird thinking of Maria as Imeon. In her phone, there's now an application she had never seen. There's no name for it, so I aptly labeled it No Name. I wondered whether she would notice it. Wondered when she would play it. It was a game that I had made specifically for her. Thinking of her fingertips as they grazed along the screen made my heart sing. I wanted her to be the one to name it. I'd be happy with whatever she chose. Is that it? No, okay. Side story. It's 2 weeks before her birthday. Another side story? We were both lazily item farming and leveling up our characters in an online game. I was the tank in his mage character that he had to respec like 3 times before. It was unleashing some fireballs. What, is this WoW or Ultima Online? We're on voice chat and talking about nothing in particular. Oh, voice chat? But how did... Yeah, don't think too hard about it. So yeah, how are things lately? I want to quit my job. Oh, that's right, he got a job recently. He would have gotten into game development like he dreamed of. Maybe it wasn't going so hot. I had a feeling it would be like that. Ain't your job? Quit. You'll have your boss on the way out too, haha. Added some humor to his obviously dark mood. After a few seconds, he posted a link. Wondering what it was, I opened it. So it was an online knife shop. Which one do you... wait, no. Which one do you think is good? Which I think is good? Get out of here with that. Let's keep it to a punch, you nut job. They'll come interview me after you knife up the place, and I hate the idea of doing one. Relax, man. Sorry, maybe I'll let you go. Only joking. Sometimes I really couldn't tell if he was joking or... You know when we're talking about work. Or knives. Anything else, like... Giselle's face appeared in my mind. See someone I could bring up this subject with? I want to say, no, I don't want to talk about it with in real life. Although I knew it didn't fit our friendship dynamic, I wanted to ask. So I've been reading all day, so words start to get jumbled. Like a girlfriend or something? There's another lengthy pause. Notice that his character had stopped moving too. You backstabber. Wait, what? I thought you of all people wouldn't be swayed by females. Now your mind is in the gutter. Piss off, lover boy. Fired it off and logged out without waiting for a reply. This is back when Michelle was in his incel phase. Just give him time. He'll come around. Stared at the screen, my mouth half open. A few days later, an apology message came over Skype. He apologized for his childish behavior. It seemed genuine, so I replied that it didn't really bother me. Apparently one of the older guys said he hated at his company and a new girlfriend. He was extra bitter right now. I was sure his work was hard enough as it was. I wasn't having any luck at all, so I chalked it up to circumstance. There's one promise I made to myself. Never ever bring up relationships with him again. Smart. Oh, is that it? I got the achievement. A nameless okay, yeah. But it was just 10 minutes. Yeah, that was short. And I feel a little necessary. Because we only ever really saw Imeon, like, not for most of the game, from just through their interactions with Michelle, right? So seeing their perspective of seeing things kind of gave them a bit more depth. Even though of the 3, Nelly, Jacopo, and Imeon, I'd say they probably had the most depth already. Right, like Nelly was like, oh yeah, I got bullied. But I never really got into the details. Jacopo's like, yeah, I'm depressed and jobless. I'm a loser who hates myself, so I take it out on other people. I was like, bro, I relate too hard for that. Like, move on. And then, you know, Imeon was trans. They're still alive. Is trans, but like, isn't. Like, how do you define that? Isn't out of the closet? Is that? Hold on. I have a notepad file up right here for all my thoughts. They're not organized, but I need to like tab into this so we get the music still. Okay, that's good. So yeah, like Imeon is, but isn't trans. I don't know the terminology, but they just got like a lot more screen time when dealing with their issue. Although, I guess Nelly had a lot of screen time when dealing with the Mel thing, right? So I guess it's just Jacopo who got the bad end of the stick. The short end, not the bad end. Probably got the bad end too. Yeah, so anyway, I have a notepad file here. Oh, this is annoying. With a bunch of just thoughts I've written out over the past... What's it? 4 or 5 days? They're not in any order, so some of this might be unorganized. I'm just going to go over how I felt about 7th Lair, which, despite being a very short game, left me a lot to think about. So, just off the top, I thought I really liked the forum thread. You know, the Roria Kingdom Heaven page. Reading it where I read it, like very early on, but not after Life of a Creator 1, I think, was a great place to read it too, since, you know, you kind of know a little bit about the world, what to expect, but not too much so that not everything falls into place, right? And I recommend everyone goes read it. It's just fun to read. Yeah, so anyway, to get into the real meat of things, that all of the... Well, not all of... Yeah, I wrote this in particular. This is what I wrote. Story bloat in beginning, parentheses, mechanics of game were meaningless. Could have cut like 60% of first half. Basically, everything that took place in the game, like 7th Lair, there's no point to it, right? Like, for example, I remember it stressed that, like, oh yeah, if you go into the town, the monsters can't get in, or like Mel being targeted, although I guess that did come back a little bit. Or there's other game mechanics, like the cards and classes, like you could just cut those completely, or just that kind of stuff, right? There was no point to it. It was absolutely meaningless to the overall narrative. And I mean, I guess you could say that's part of how it kind of grabs you in. It presents itself as like, a cute little April Fool's game, and then, it slowly reveals itself. But still, I just think they went on too long, and they weren't interesting, really. There are a couple good jokes, of course, and just seeing the Fata Morgana cast again was nice, but still, that's... Okay, just when I first finished 7th Lair, I went on VNDB after a while. I was like, oh yeah, 9 out of 10. Great game. But, like a day or two ago, I was like, wait, there's just a lot of bloat. I noticed this because I was uploading videos. And I ended up going back and changing it to, I think, an 8. It was still great experience, just, those parts really brought it down. Even the Yukimasa, like, backstory, given it's pretty much a rehash of his Fata Morgana stuff, went on a little too long. Although that might just be an issue I have, because when I record, I have to read slower. So obviously, everything takes more time to read. But still. I'll save that one for later. It's just about the themes of the game. Okay, so I already talked about this a little, but here it says Nelly Jacopo lack of depth, but it worked in their favor, right? So they didn't go into like Nelly's like whole bowling thing, but I think that works out, right? Like, you don't need to know, oh yeah, this is how Nelly was bullied, this is exactly what happened, or this is how Jacopo became a total loser. You can assume, and your assumptions kind of are probably better than what the real thing would be, right? And that's just kind of how it goes. Sometimes it doesn't go that way. It's just like, when you hear, oh yeah, I was bullied in school, you're like, okay, yeah, I can imagine what that was like. And then Maria lack of screen time, but still had foreshadowing. Oh yeah, and in parentheses, self-loathing by calling themselves ugly, etc. That was in, I think, Life of a Creator 3? It was when Michelle was talking about Giselle. I forget the exact wording. I think they even said something like man up or something. Which stood out to me, but I didn't say anything at the time. So yeah, really I think just Imeon / Maria should have showed up earlier in the story, before the whole Demon Lord thing. I don't know when it would have happened. Just, I guess, around the same time as Jacopo. But... Or really, like... Honestly, I would have just cut Yukimasa out of the story. Like, does he really provide... Well, I mean, I guess he did. He presents an alternate take on the character, right? Maybe. Oh, actually, I see a really long paragraph I wrote about Yukimasa here. Oh, no, it's not just Yukimasa. Yeah, I say Yukimasa backstory was fine, but probably longer than necessary. Also, it kind of makes me down how the real timeline, the real Fata Morgana went down, with him, being reincarnated and hanging out with Pauline or something. Did we actually see that in the epilogue? I know reincarnation shows some of that, just because I know every character's in it. So yeah. Oh, we are now 1-2 for bad endings with Novak visual novels. Fata Morgana had a good ending. Requiem for Innocence, I would call it a bad ending. Even if that epilogue thing with Jacopo and Morgana was a little bit... maybe not happy, but hopeful in nature. And now this one where, Michelle died. I want to call this a happy ending. Bittersweet, maybe. Yeah, he made 3 people's lives better. Maybe, but also, like, he died. Oh. Okay, so next. Plot moved very fast at the end. Turbo speed after Demon Lord died. Angel just kind of came out of nowhere. So yeah, basically once Demon Lord died, it's like, oh yeah, Mel was fake the whole time. Next, oh, hey, how about we just shout into the sky? This is definitely gonna work, said Imeon. And it worked, and they're in Fairy House. And then, oh, I'm Jacopo, I hate myself. Next, oh, I'm Imeon, I'm terminology trans but not trans. And then next, oh hey, I'm the angel, I'm here to take you to the forest of the suicidal or whatever. Which was, I mean, I'm fine with the angel. They're definitely out of left field though, right? Like, that is not how I thought this was going to go down. You don't need to see it coming, right? But just the way it could have been foreshadowed a little. Oh, lack of foreshadowing for Michelle's suicide, right? Like, did anyone see that coming? I say, but not complete lack. There's one thing I'm thinking of when I read that, which I assume is what I was thinking of when I wrote that. Michelle was talking about how his motivation would go from like making works for a lot of people to just for Giselle, which when I read that struck me as a little unhealthy. And I thought maybe something could come of that, but I didn't think like Giselle dying from cancer would be that thing. Oh, yeah, this is smack in the middle, but what does AID mean? AID. What is that an acronym for? If somebody knows, I tried looking up AID on Wikipedia, see if I found anything, but I couldn't see anything. I'm sure it stands for something, right? Maybe that's a reference to Aerosmith? That's their other April Fool's game that isn't translated. I think it came out before this. That's the only thing I can think of what that could mean. But anyway, Michelle had a sister, which is a really weird thing that they brought up once and never again, which is just kind of out of place. I thought maybe it was White, like it could be the white-haired girl, who I assume White is. Although White was interested in their Ultima Online blog, which is the next thing I wrote. Michelle writer job never really mentioned. You know, when he first meets Giselle, he mentions he's a writer, but not that kind of writer, and never goes back into it. It's never brought up again. Which, my assumption was it's the blog on the Kingdom Heaven page that got taken down. To my understanding, he wrote like video game guides, and I guess he made money from that. Oh, okay. This one, updating Heaven's terms of service is hilarious. You know, when Morgana mentions to Michelle that, you know, because of all the people committing suicide lately, maybe they're thinking about changing that, which is, I still can't. That's great. That is, you can tell it's a Japanese work, right? Like, I feel like an American writer, Christian or not, would just never write that kind of thing, given Christian attitudes in America about, like, you know, how the Bible is paramount and doesn't change. Which, this angel is definitely a Christian angel, right? Like, yeah, it's even the 7th layer. Right. Oh, this is an annoying thing that happened in the short story, actually. Well, kind of. So only showing one sprite at a time sometimes, which is just an annoying thing. Like, there's a lot of screen space. It's even 16:9, it's not 4:3, so like you can have 3 characters on the screen at once. But a lot of the time they just have one at a time and they disappear, a new one shows up, they disappear, and a new one shows up, says something, disappears, new one shows up, says something. Like, you can keep them on the screen. It's playing it's a gacha game, Girls Frontline. It has a passable story. That's all I'll give it. Like, nowadays I'm just reading it because of some cost fallacy, right? Like, I'm not really into it. It's just, well, I'm just kind of into it, right? But not that much. And that's one of the lack of visual novel quality of life that it lacks. Also, like, none of the sprites there have facial expressions. Like, it's just the one default for 99% of the characters. But anyway, that's not relevant. And also, Michelle Giselle unclear dialogue, which is, it was very hard to tell who was talking because Michelle didn't have a sprite, but Giselle did. And, you know, obviously, with neither Giselle or Imeon in the short story having a sprite, it was also very hard to tell. Some dialogue tags would be dearly appreciated for that. Or just stick to what's it mode? Adventure mode? In Fata Morgana, that wasn't a problem because it had novel mode for like that one part in Door 6 where Morgana tells her story. But that was a very small section of it. Right? I don't think it used novel mode any more than that. And I think it used novel. I'm pretty sure it used novel mode there anyway. Oh, here. Morgana really talked a long time. I mean, she really did, right? She went into the particulars of how the Forest of Heaven worked. She really just talked about their suicides in a very roundabout way. She could have just been shortened, right? And, oh, this is the last one. So Yukimasa's backstory is fine. This is just talking about all their stuff. Nellie's was good enough. Lack of details was for the better. That's what I said earlier. Jacopo hit too close to home, and his forum posts really add a lot to it. Great, that's where I think a lot of his character actually comes from. Not from, well, yes, in-game, but also just from his forum posts and what they imply. Like him posting on Christmas alone with nobody else there. And then last one, Imeon's came at the last minute. It was really sudden. Probably had the most depth to them though, which is probably what I've already said, right? I didn't really write enough about this, but I just... This is the thing I'm going back to now, because this is everything else. I just wrote themes of creation, anonymity, and understanding others. For, just the themes of something like, right? Because obviously creation was obvious from the beginning, which I don't think it's like a... I want to call it the major theme, right? I'd call it something it explores. But really, it's about... How do you... I should have scripted this, right? Just... When someone does something, they have a reason for doing it, right? I'm trying to break it down to the most basic thing possible, right? Like, for example, when someone posts something online, that's not just words on a screen, that's an actual person typing, right? Which is part of what I think Seven Lair's about. Just other people have intentions and lives of their own, right? To put it simply. This is what I got from it. And yeah, that's everything. That's all he wrote. It was a great experience, and I'm really glad I got to play it. It doesn't compare to Fata Morgana or Requiem for Innocence, but it sure does beat the carrot cake shuffling incident. Although it's not fair to compare it to that. That was, a hour-long comedy special. I think the white hair girl showed up because she wanted to make cake with them. I don't remember. And they all swapped bodies, right? I remember now. And there's no... yeah, okay. I was just making sure there's not another short story. That'd be spooky. Did I look at the concert hall? Yeah, I think I did. Oh, there's a lot of tracks, huh? Oh, Persephone. Shared about her in Fake Grand Order. It's, Demeter's daughter. Hades kind of kidnapped her. Took her to the underworld. Anyway. That's rambling. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is HorseyEatYou. I'd appreciate it if you liked or commented or whatever. Or, hey, hit that dislike button if you really want. No, they removed that. If you have any visual novels you want me to read next, let me know. I'm in the market to read more visual novels, right? I've been busy lately, like the last year or two. But now, I'm kind of freed up. Like, you can do whatever. I'm thinking of returning to Chaos Child, but if there's like a VN you want me to read that's not like blacklisted off YouTube, if you leave a comment, I'll probably do it. That's how it works. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and whatever I do next, I hope to see you there, maybe. Unless it's Fake Grand Order, nobody watches those. Well, hopefully by the time I get caught up. Now I'm rambling. Because I'm like a year behind in Fake Grand Order content, so like nobody watches that. But if I got like day of release content for it, it'll be like, oh, poggers! Horsey's uploaded Fake Grand Order a day of release. I love this. Woo! Which is how it's worked in the past, but now it's not working because I am a year behind. Anyway. That's enough. That's enough. I'll see you guys next time with some more whatever I do. Bye.